From Graham. In a rare primetime address Tuesday night, President Obama took his case for military action in Syria to the American people. He spoke of a possible diplomatic solution, but said the U.S. must be prepared to act if diplomacy fails. However, members of Congress and the American people still aren't ready to support a military strike. From the East Wing of the White House, President Obama addressed a skeptical nation.
My fellow Americans, tonight I want to talk to you about Syria, why it matters, and where we go from here.
On Tuesday, Syria agreed to a Russian-backed plan to hand over its chemical weapons stockpile to the international community. President Obama called the possibility of a diplomatic solution encouraging, but he said that if it fails, the U.S. military must take action.
It is beyond our means to right every wrong. But when, with modest effort and risk, we can stop children from being gassed to death and thereby make our own children safer over the long run, I believe we should act.
Still, diplomacy may be the only way the president can avoid an embarrassing defeat in both the House and Senate, where more lawmakers oppose a strike on Syria than support it. Congressional leaders have already agreed there will be no vote this week.
To a person, every GI I meet, every parent I meet, not one of them wants to get involved in the civil war. And it's not that we don't have sympathy, we just don't see a military or an American objective here.
Nearly two-thirds of Americans are opposed to a military strike. The U.S. involvement in both Iraq and Afghanistan still fresh on their minds. President Obama insisted this time would be different.
I will not put American boots on the ground in Syria. This would be a targeted strike to achieve a clear objective.
Still, following the president's speech to the nation, both the public and lawmakers remained unconvinced.
I think President Obama presented his case, but he did not convince me.
We have no plan for victory. In fact, to my mind, the Obama administration is arguing for stalemate. And I just can't see committing my son or your son or my daughter or your daughter to a war when our goal is stalemate.
And there are reports today the Russia-backed plan might already be in trouble. Russia is rejecting U.S. and French calls for a binding UN resolution calling for, quote, very severe consequences if Syria does not comply. Russia says it will not support any military action against Syria.